Welcome to Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Here on Canada's east coast, we find a quaint community with the Mersey River running through and also emptying here into the Atlantic Ocean. A place chock full of museums and cosy streets, but also a very modern recreation centre with an NHL-size ice surface. That is Queen's Place Emirates Centre, the host of the World Junior Curling Championships 2019. On our broadcast this evening, Switzerland will play Scotland in session 7 of the men's competition. To give you the play-by-play, myself, Sander Ulvåg, and I'm joined by curling extraordinaire Laura Walker. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
As we hear the Flower of Scotland in the background, we can run you through the lineups for Switzerland. At lead, Janis Spies. At second, Marco Hefti. At third, we have Philip Hösli. And team skip for Switzerland this evening, Marco Hösli.
And Team Scotland, at lead, Ewan Kyle. The second is James Craik. At third, Duncan McFadgen. And their skip, Ross White.
Session number 7, so all teams have played 6 games. Scotland have won all of them, just followed then by Canada, Norway, Switzerland and USA, all at 4 and 2, really shaping up this week. New Zealand sits at 3 and 3, Germany with 2 wins. It's China, Italy and Sweden rounding up the round-robin table. The other games out there, Laura?
On sheet A, we'll see Canada take on Germany. Sheet B, Italy and Norway. On sheet D, New Zealand and the United States. And on sheet E, Sweden will take on China.
The Flower of Scotland, Scotland's national anthem, of course, being played because the team was honoured before this draw, as every other team have been or will be at some point this week. Scotland, of course, with a big following as well. So you can hear that song all over Liverpool this evening, just getting the Scottish boys ramped up for the game. As they look to stay perfect against Switzerland.
What ones was that?
We'll see Switzerland throwing the red stones. Scotland will throw the yellow. I believe Switzerland have last one advantage. We see Scotland kicking us off here. Ross White was a little bit upset as he missed the button on his last stone draw for Hammer in pre-game practice. Ewan Kyle will get the show started here. The left-hander.
Line's good. Line's good. Three. There by itself. Okay. 3. They're high. 3, nearly 4. Okay, leg comes out there. Still high. Oh, only if you can. Oh. Only if you can, James. No, don't risk it. No. You're good. Nice. Good job. Good. Nice, Shane.
They'll throw a centre guard. And Switzerland will call a corner guard here.
This is the most aggressive start to an end I think we've seen on our broadcast so far. Neither of these teams scared to put rocks in play. Comfortable with the ice now, going into their 7th game.
Janis Spies at lead. Hoping for this one to break away from the centre line a bit more. And you'll see some nice finish here, just stopping just above the queue in Queens.
That's a great spot for that corner guard. Getting it out wide enough that it's not impeding your draw path, and so that you can still use it later on. Sometimes we've seen them a little too close to center line and become a little unusable.
6. Nearly 7. Line's fine.
Playing in his 3rd consecutive World Junior Curling Championships, Ewan Kyle, very impressive. Played 2nd in 2017, lost a bronze final. Runner-up last year as a lead, and that's where he plays this week as well.
Eleventh. Hefty. Eleventh. Yeah. Eleventh. Hard. Hard. Yeah. Kijk zo. Hey. Alsjeblieft. Nou, is het? Ja.
James Craig.
Soft handle, Duncan. Stay close. Line's good. 7, 8, close line. 8. Line's fine.
We're running.
Okay, line's fine.
8, 9.
There's the car.
8, 9.
It's all shifted.
Running here.
Alright. Let's take him down. Let's get in there. Let's get there. Okay, Jim.
Maybe running a tant straighter coming that way, or is that just Craig's out turn maybe straighter than the others?
No, on you and Kyle's second rock, he did try to come around that center guard and only got a piece buried, and I heard him say to Ross White, just straight down that line. So they did tighten up the broom, and even with that, James thought he was maybe a little bit soft and still got by the guard no problem. So maybe a little bit straighter on that side. We'll have to watch.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Keep. Whoa, whoa.
Really over curling on that one. That would indicate maybe a bit of a slant to this sheet of ice. Straighter on the side that Ross is calling right now, and more curl on the side that Switzerland just tried that come around tap.
That was Marco Hefty.
I thought we were really close, guys. Quite liked it. Line's good. Line's nice. Oh, thought we were nice. You in now. You in now.
You get a really good look at the line here. And the rock hangs out and starts to go at the end. Just maybe not as much as other spots on the ice. Working really hard to get this in behind that center guard. As this is a 10-end game, teams having to play a minimum of 6. We expect at least that many ends in this one. 38 minutes of thinking time per team, and 160-second timeout can be called at any point during the game. Bring a coach in for an interaction. And of course the 5-rock rule in play this season, as the run back's just missed by Hefty. So close.
Yeah, the difference between making and missing that shot is only a centimeter or 2 on the shot rock. Really close to being made perfectly, and leaves 2 yellow rocks still in the forefoot.
Not expecting a lot of curl here either from Duncan McFadden.
Line's good. Line's good.
Line's narrow. Turn narrow.
Oh, Ben. Oh.
Line's really tight.
Whoa.
Where?
3. Whoa.
3. Oh, let it come down. 3, 2, 3.
Why are we sleeping on this? Again. Sit. Okay, done. Fine.
Good.
Finds a good spot.
Yeah, it probably does show a piece of the rock top 4 on the outside, but not quite enough for Switzerland to play a hit. So they'll run this one in and try to remove all 3.
Philip Hersley.
Oh. Hefty. Hard. Okay, spread.
Him along with James Craig, only 17 years old. Had a really good run at the 2016 Youth Olympics. And, well, the team picked up a bronze medal.
Seems we've had someone on almost every sheet a part of those Youth Olympic Games. What a great experience for these players.
The line's good.
Yep. Where?
2. Oh, eh?
Oh.
Oh. 2, 3.
Okay.
Line's good.
Clean.
2, 3.
Clean. You're really close.
You in close.
You in.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Oh, oh. Good, Doug. Nice throw.
Another guard in a great spot for Scotland. Maybe third time's the charm on this run back.
Also played in the mixed doubles competition at the Youth Olympics, where they mix the teams up across nationalities and did win gold. So 2 medals and 1 championship from him, as he, again, just very close to making that run back. Unlucky not to move that yellow more than only a foot.
Yeah, that is like so half a centimeter to getting rid of all 3 of those yellow rocks. So close to perfect. Bit of bad luck to just rub it and move it over here more onto the center line. All 3 of those run backs missed on the high side, so maybe creeping up on the right broom, but sometimes better to make a big adjustment early and see what you can get away with rather than continuing to miss the same way over and over.
That's like a couple of inches less than dunk, but we don't really...
Mine finished like 2 inches off that side of centre line.
Just use the front centre line to stop the...
Yeah, but we'd rather be like full centre
finish
line.
it. Take a hair less if you want.
Take a hair less in. I don't mind it.
Kind of, James, hair less. Good. That's me, it's close. Yep. Line today.
There's Ross White.
4. Line's out there. 4. Go then. Line's out there. Starting to move.
Had a hot week
4.
last year as well. Lost the final.
Starting to move.
3.
Sitting at 5-0. Certainly having a pretty good week here in Liverpool as well.
Let it come up. Whoa. Sit. Let it sit. Sit. That's perfect there.
Shot. Good.
Good judgment.
Puts that guard in a great spot.
So easy. Yep. Come on. No. 3 here.
Gotta be careful he doesn't run to it in behind.
I think that's better for him right now.
I suppose.
There we have skip for Switzerland, Marco Hösli. Still a couple of years left in the juniors. And there you go. 4th time's lucky for Switzerland. Can't believe how close they were so many times in a row, and that's going to be a nice feeling to finally make it and also make it perfect. Spells everything.
Yeah, that's a shot that you look back on this game and you know, you don't call it a game winner necessarily, it's only the first end, but to get your team out of that kind of trouble, open things up, just a huge momentum shift and confidence boost for this young skip. Great shot.
Try not to kill it if you can at the start.
Sometimes find it all hard to just cross the center line.
We've seen that a lot this week. Teams struggling with the line with rocks just off center like this.
Especially if it's running a bit straight here to begin with.
It's back 12, it's back 12, go!
This has a lot of room in the guard.
Hard.
He's trying to get anything buried behind
Hard, bury it, please. Go. Hard.
that guard on
Hard.
in front of the house. Just gets maybe
That's all right. Too much tries.
maybe half or a third.
Swiss can definitely see enough to make this blank.
Just have to get that bar right there.
Okay, that's good in. You made one good shot, that was it.
Has to be this.
Not a gimme here. Does see enough to make the peel, try and blank the end here, retain hammer.
He just threw a very similar line on that run back, so expect him to be pretty close here.
Sounds like they're pretty happy with this one. There you go. Blank end. Good play by the Swiss skipper. Get Switzerland out of trouble.
No, it's not good.
Just watch. If you ever back, you're never getting around them.
Yeah, it's not going to move.
Okay. Halfway. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa. No dump.
Just halfway is fine. Still needs to move. Okay. Needs the curl.
Whoa.
Needs the curl. Yep.
Line's fine.
Curl, curl. Hard. Good. Nice shot. Nice shin.
The second end will start very much like the first. The centre guard from Scotland and then corner guard from Switzerland. What does that tell you about their strategy, the teams?
Both teams obviously will be playing a little bit more offensive than maybe some of the teams that we've watched this week, but I think it speaks volumes to the confidence that they're playing with. You don't play with this many rocks in play if you don't believe that you can bail yourself out at the end of the end. So big reason these teams are near the top of the standings.
Well, a bailout is exactly what Switzerland had.
If we ever leave it high.
It took a while. Usually try and bail out with your second, at least your third. And in the end, it was the skipper who had to make the triple and then the blank. Great play by the guy standing by the hack.
Yeah, to win a major event like this, you need to have your skip make some big shots in big moments, and that was a big shot from that young skip.
6, 5.
You might be there, boys.
5.
Line only. Yes. Hard done.
6. Hard. Line only.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa.
Whoa. Wait, it's really close. Whoa, don't ever curl. Can over curl. Set. Good shot.
Ewan Kyle's been really good this week. Good draw weight. We've seen him where other players have struggled to find their draw weight. Ewan Kyle's been pretty much on the money every time.
Yeah, it's not surprising that they're 6-0 when your lead can get you set up that way and so well right from the get-go. It puts a lot of pressure on the other team to make precise shots. Your shots become easier and the other team's shots become harder, and that's a pretty good recipe for your team to have some success.
I think definitely some of the experience comes into play for Ewan Kyle. Third time around.
This one just not curling at all.
Well, is this the same side that was straight in the first end?
It is. So it was the out turn going, well, counterclockwise turn going towards the away end, and the clockwise turn coming towards the home end. So you often see the same pattern across the sheet. These teams will want to figure out what the actual sheet shape is. That's a good discussion to have. Almost draw a picture in your mind as a skip that can really help you with your broom placement.
Hard dunk.
Come on, mate. That's got to move. Hard dunk.
Close. Yin. Whoa. Yin. Hard. Sit.
For a hit and roll here. That is well played.
Yeah, the key there was that controlled weight that they called and that James played. They knew it was straighter on that side, so they called a really quiet weight to allow the sweepers to do some work, and that's just really smart.
Yep. Hard. Yep.
Again, just a inch off of these runbacks. If he's an inch higher on that one, he probably gets rid of all 3 of those rocks and instead leaves one in the rings. Just over curling. Just needed to hit that second one on a bit of a different angle to send it back towards the one that's on the button right now.
Fight through this. 3.
Air narrow.
Here, done. 2.
Whoa, line's fine.
3.
Okay.
What's the numbers they're calling out here?
They're judging the weight, so a lot of teams will use this number system. The sheet is split into 10 zones. So a 1 would be just over the hog line, and a 10 would be at the back line, and the rest of it is somewhere in between. So a lot of teams just find that that's a clearer, easier way to shout down to the other end of the ice when it's really loud out there versus saying halfway or top 4 or whatever that might be. It all means the same thing. It's just a preference from team to team.
Zipper. Zipper. Danny. Hard. Yeah. Hard. Okay.
Gordon Giles stark gesehen, du.
Rolf Hösli on the bench for Switzerland.
Ist noch fies, wenn Gordon Fernsehen kommt.
Of course, the father of Marco and Philip.
Eigentlich müsste Schuh verlegen.
You see Martin Rios on the right, silver medalist from the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang just a year ago in the mixed doubles discipline. Plays a big part in the junior development in Switzerland as well.
Ask how line is. Carl, go. Hard. Yep, right to it. Hard. Keep going. Hard. Good sweep. Nice shot. Good dog.
Here's Greg Drummond, Olympic silver medalist as well, from Sochi, playing with David Murdoch. Taking his first few goes at a coaching role.
I think someone like that is just great to have on the bench with these young players. They're not so far removed from being a junior themselves that they don't kind of get what these kids are going through, but being an Olympic silver medalist, I'm sure Ross White's team just has a ton of respect for Greg. So someone like that is just a great fit with these junior teams.
I like this. It moves all right, it just takes a while. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Hair up. Whoa. Nowhere high. Close. Yep. Whoa. Close. Clean. Yep. Whoa. You don't, James.
Hard to roll.
Hard.
Nice shot. Nate, good.
A little frustrated there because he left this hole that Switzerland's about to come through and maybe felt it was a little bit overswept. But still not a bad result. It stayed a little bit open. They might be able to use that if needed and is in the house. So it's a rock that can certainly be used to force Team Switzerland to a single point.
You'll find these Scottish guys perfectionists. They'll be a little upset if they don't make the shots perfect.
And wear their emotions on their sleeves, so I think we're going to know what they're thinking no matter what happens.
Almost makes the roll here.
Get over roll if you need to, really. Back's nice. Yep. Shouldn't run. They should run pretty straight. Okay, that's fine. High quite. Try and roll in behind the right hand one. Even if we overroll, it's not horrendous, I don't think.
Okay. No. Oh, that's fine. Try and make it perfect.
Yeah.
Hair firmer than dunks.
Ewan. Ewan. Hard, Ewan. Hard. Hard, gotta move it.
Hanging on that corner.
Hard, Ewan.
Gets by, but rolls out.
Runs that guard with my foot. I just clipped the guard with my foot. I don't think I moved it that much, but...
Ewan Caldy stoning up to
This way.
touching that that guard with his foot
A wee bit
as he was sweeping past.
And if that happens and he does move it significantly, they just put it back to where it was, being a stationary stone. We did see a rock in our game this afternoon that was actually touched between the hog lines, and that one was stopped right away and taken out of play.
Ja, ich war der Ritter.
Really like what Switzerland is doing here. You see so many teams play around the red guard that's on the right-hand side. It's a path they might know a little bit better, but these guards on the left are staggered. So should they get in behind there, there's not really a great run-back attempt for Team Scotland.
Yeah, also that guard on the right so long. Even if you're buried, it might be easy for Scotland to try and fish it out. A little heavy here. Just trying.
Okay.
So like to sweep your opponent's stones behind the tee line. Ross White tries to drag it a bit deeper. Might see them try and follow here. It is fully buried.
See, we know we really need a guard if we even get here.
Yeah. I like that. Good. Sure, mate.
They might have different releases. We saw Switzerland with the broom on the outside of the 12-foot, and they're nearly into the middle of the 12-foot here now for Team Scotland. So it'll be interesting to see the differences in how this runs.
I think the weight will be ghosted here, wee man.
Well, I just got 13.30 and it sat down.
I get 13.4 on it as well.
Pulled deep, Hersley. I wonder if going wider, they were thinking it might have been a little slower.
Yeah, and I think it was a little slower even with the time that they got 13.4 and still stopped in the rings. We've been seeing it very, very quick. That would go through anywhere else on the sheet. See if it's keened up now at all.
Wind's close.
Yeah, as soon as you play one stone down the path, it might get a little quicker. They didn't do a lot of sweeping.
We're way out there. We're way out there. 8, 9, 8.
Usually 15 seconds is good for T-line. This is 14.2.
Only we can.
He's starting to dig. Just not getting quite the line here. Ross White. If that just curled a bit more, it would have been okay. And actually leaves Switzerland lying shot stone. So draw for 2. And it was a bit slower out there. 14.2 is, well, almost through usually.
We've seen that time go through and quite a few other spots on the sheet. Now that they've thrown a couple there, if they were to throw another, I'm sure it would be almost up to speed. Just not a spot that gets thrown as much, and when it sits, it can slow down a little bit.
Last stone, second end. It's a skips deuce on the card for Marco Hersley. New path here. Always tough to guess if it's going to be the same, a little slower, a little quicker. But seems like they've got this down here. Should sit in time. That will be 2 points. What a start for Marco Hersley. saves his team in the first end, skips deuce in the second. 2-0.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, it just runs so much straighter, I think.
I don't know where we need to ice compared to them, so we're just going to have to try to figure it out ourselves.
Yep, that's fine. Get our two back here, boys.
Let's get our corner up. Yep, let's score our twos.
We've been all over them for the start of the end, so.
Veel plaats. 50. En een 50.
10 lang.
Natuur 10.
Oké, hebben. Voor een 4.
14, 9.
Lang is goed. Voor een 4.
Voor een 4.
Dat is 10.
Nee, nee. Goed.
Het zo.
Dat zo. Met die lang.
Did hear one comment from Ross White between ends here,
Yeah.
just saying we can't
First side's all right. I was going to say.
can't ice after
it's not straight.
them, as in Switzerland.
I'll be a hair wide in this, I don't think it's.
So what he's saying there is the Swiss team, the way it looks like, their rocks are curling a little bit more than the Scottish team, so they probably have a little bit of what we call a softer release. The Scottish team would be a little bit more positive, and when you are more positive, you have that little bit of extra rotation. It will run a little bit straighter. As we said before, Ross White's last draw there in the second end, he took already less ice than Switzerland did and still didn't get the curl. So it's a really big thing for Ross to pick up on, that they can't take the same ice as them. They have to adjust accordingly.
Yeah, let's try to figure it out for ourselves, he said.
Stand out. Stand out.
As this corner guard slips into the rings for you and Kyle. We've seen that probably a lot more this week than normal, just because the ice is running so fast.
Yeah, especially to the wings, you'll often see most ice surfaces are faster to the wings, and this one is for sure.
Scotland not giving up here, though. They're going to throw another corner.
And I love to see this broom actually on the inside of the center line. We've seen so many teams just keep doing the same thing over and over again with the broom just on the other side of center. It takes forever to cross the center line, and they just don't quite get the line on their corners.
We'll see it curl quite well as it comes off the center line. Much better weight from you and Kyle this time. That's a pretty good spot for the corner. So, being the 5-rock rule this season, Switzerland can't just go up and peel that corner guard like last year. Just kind of forces play a bit more, making curling a little more fun.
A little bit. He's calling this one as a freeze. Being a 2-point lead, doesn't want to have too much in play, but the positioning of that corner guard, he could also throw a guard on his own rock in the rings, and I don't think Scotland could actually use their corner. But this is a scoreboard call, being up 2 points.
Don't want to leave a pocket either here for Scotland.
No, if anything on that one, you could have been top 12 somewhere in front of it. That was the wrong way to miss that shot.
Really not much ice.
Mine's run pretty straight in here, I just trust it.
Okay.
Could hear James Craig not feeling like that was enough ice to come around the corner. You and Kyle saying it's running a bit straight, but of course that's you and Kyle's out turn. Could be a little straighter than Craig's in.
9. Line's getting there. 9, 10.
Oh, heavy here.
9. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if James Craig on this one feeling like he didn't have enough ice. maybe added a little bit extra on his release, put it back a little bit to try to make sure he gets by, and that little bit of an add makes a huge difference in how far the rock will run at the other end, and then just slipping a little bit deep does stay in the rings for a third shot, but a little deeper than he would have liked.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Whoa.
That's a mistake. He's hoping to just peel that corner. Leaves a guard.
Yeah, and as it was coming up, they maybe could have got off of it and at least made the run back. Kind of got caught in between two shots there and didn't get a whole lot out of it. Guarded a piece of that stone, but leaves a lot of options for Scotland.
I don't mind that either. Whatever you like. Let's give that a shot. Hack.
Right, Paul. Okay, let's make it nice. Put it close.
Hack. Hack. Really cool.
Heel firm.
Close. Hack. Whoa. Whoa. Close. You in. Close. You in. Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Whoa. And yep. Roll. Yep. Hard. Roll. Hard. Roll. Hard.
Go, go, go,
hard.
go,
Hard.
go.
Hard. Hard. Nice shot.
Yeah, nice throw, James.
Two really good shots by Craig in this end.
Yeah, again, great weight control from the Scottish team. I love that they actually call that hack weight for these hits where you need to stick around in the rings. We see so many teams calling a normal weight or an up weight and end up rolling out. You just have so much more control with these quieter weight takeouts. Just hanging rocks around anywhere in the rings puts a lot of pressure on your opposition.
Whoa. Yannis. Yannis. Hard. Yep. Hard. Hard, Yannis. Okay. What's up?
Try and roll into it and just bump it. Okay. Is that higher?
Dead hack.
Right. You look pretty close to level. Right. We're from dead hack here. Dead hack. Okay. Like it.
This is where it was running a bit straight on the first end, on the draws anyway.
Yeah, and he is trying to get to the inside of this rock. I'm not sure there's a ton of room past that guard, but playing the right weight for it.
Yep, down. Hard down. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Close. Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Not Ewan. Ewan.
Ewan, hard.
Hard. Hard. Any roll.
Good effort, Dunk. Nice throw.
Yeah, just not going to get a lot of finish once you're past that guard on this side of the sheet.
Så, ja. Så var det geil. Så er det godt. Ja. 12. So is it good. Er je klaar mee? Ik heb het. Ik leave that like that. Achtung! 12! Wow! 1,5! Wow! Weer sneller! Wow! Close! Yannis! Ja! Hard! Vol door. Hard! Vol door. Wow! Yep, yep, yep! Kijk. Kijk toch! Ja, goed.
That's big that it doesn't stick around for second shot. Had it stayed in for second, Scotland would need to make some sort of double to score that yellow rock that's in the back 8 foot.
Then I want to make sure we're short so he doesn't throw the guard.
But now they have an opportunity to sit 2.
Don't mind if he throws the guard, we're still going to have to drop the button for 1. Okay.
Getting this late in the end, I might think about removing this red one and trying to separate them and sit 2 with the ring split, but this is an aggressive call, trying to play the freeze, stay in front of that red one. The fear is that then Switzerland throws a guard and you can't access it at all.
do Scotland have the double off the redstone on the wing? Or is that too flat?
Can't bounce. High right now.
Guess we'll have a better look.
Take another look at it.
We're bumping a touch. No, you can't bump a touch. Carl, whoa. Okay, good effort.
Nice effort, Doug. Wait, perfect, just had to cut off.
Yeah, I
think that would definitely be there, that double off the side.
I think I'd be less afraid of the Switzerland throwing in the guard when you have two ways in.
Dan is even snel nu.
Ja. Zoals nu niet. Daar gaat immer met nu. Dat gaat sogar, wenn je niet 2 Drittel hast.
Allemaal zo.
Not a bad spot.
Is nou weg?
Does at least force Switzerland to actually make a play on that yellow.
Nu, met de mouth.
Nee.
In. Zo is het weer.
Nu niet. Go for it, Gal.
Oké. Hoe moest je treffen? Halbe?
Veel meer. 3/4 vast.
Oké.
Aan de kant.
Oké. Yeah, boys. Come on. Come on.
This one over curling a bit.
Okay.
Leaves it very much the same as 2 rocks ago.
Goed zo, Marco. Okay. Oh yeah. That might stop. That's not an issue as long as you make that.
What are you looking for? For
Thin half.
Yeah.
I don't think you should move.
Are you throwing out turn? Yeah.
In.
In turn.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think you should hand pretty straight. Thin half.
Well, calling the big shot here, Ross White.
Yeah, he could sit 2 by simply chasing the rock that's on the tee line there, coming around that guard as well. But maybe feels he can leave the shooter in a better spot by making the double right now.
Down. Whoa. Hard down.
Sounds pretty close. 1, 2, there you go.
Nice shot.
Well done.
Makes it look very easy.
Just stop right on. Just stop.
He's usually quite confident with these doubles, Ross White.
With good reason. Makes them like that.
Does the job. Yeah, it's nice there.
Ja, het is eindelijk raak daar. Ik vind het ook wel. Dit is de grote test.
Switzerland will draw. Not really an open hit either for the Swiss. They could chase that one behind Philip Hersley's broom, but you're just giving up 2. So looking to come around that guard, freeze the shot stone.
Yeah, I like this call. The shot stone is behind the tee line, so you can come right to it, maybe even get a steal out of it or a force. And even if you're fully in the 8-foot second shot in front of it, you're forcing Ross White into a tricky draw for 2. And now there's nothing on the side anymore for Ross to come off of. Try to make it that way.
He's played 2 perfect ends so far, Marco Hersley. Half miss on his first one here. He can make up for that with a perfect freeze. That was just not that great communicated, really. Looked like they were panicking a bit online. The sweepers just ended up sweeping just a bit more than they wanted to. Very hard to judge sometimes when your skip and Vice is screaming for line to not sweep.
Exactly. You feel like you kind of have to go no matter what in those cases, but having someone always looking up and letting the person in the house know that it is a little bit heavy, then that might change the line call a little bit, knowing that that'll auto-correct. If the line's a little bit tight but the weight's a little bit heavy, that should balance things out. So you want to make sure you're still communicating as much as you can, regardless of the call from the person in the house.
Dead hard. Close. Clean.
Yep. Fantastic chance for Scotland here to score 3.
Clean. Dunk. No. Dunk.
It's got to be pretty close.
Hard. You're good. Hard. Go. Hard.
Trying to tap this right out, right on the beak. 3 points for Scotland after a little hiccup from Switzerland. And 2 really good shots by Ross White.
Really good, nice patience.
Might get a battle of the skips this evening.
Screwed up at one point.
3-2.
With his. They just blasted. We were kind of.
I didn't mind it. We just need to make sure we were sitting shot right on it.
Yeah. Sure. I didn't know if we just made the play like earlier, but they gave us a chance and we took it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Really good throw that last one.
Yeah, it was. I just knew if
Should be close.
Okay, halfway tight.
Okay, we're out there.
Whoa. I edged it back. This should run straight.
Okay, where? 2. Line's getting low there.
Line's good now.
It's moving a lot. 2.
Just trying quite hard.
James a wee bit. Yep.
Whoa.
Oh, you're good. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep, go a wee bit. Yep. Hard. Nice shot.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Nice, Shane.
Again, we'll have a centre guard and a corner from Switzerland. No lack of trying from the teams.
Really waiting for this one to get off that center line. They're going to need to finish this one a long way.
Hard. Hey.
Not too bad there.
Line on line.
Okay, top
7.
Wall.
7.
Oh,
Wall.
Line's good.
Wall, James.
Well, line's good.
James is stone.
Line's
is stone.
perfect.
6.
You don't need to curl.
6.
Get it 6.
Line's
5.
getting good.
Line's good.
James.
Duncan.
James.
Duncan.
Go ahead, Carl. Now we're good now. We're good now.
Again, very good weight control by you and Kyle.
Yeah, he had that one corner guard just slip into the rings, but other than that, he's been pretty much perfect on everything, making it very tough on Switzerland right from the get-go.
I'd be surprised if there's a lead that doesn't have a couple of those on their conscience this week.
Yeah.
I think Leeds sometimes try to almost throw dead weight, not to tire out their sweepers too much on the lead rocks.
No, I think the opposite. I think Leeds do so much sweeping, they're probably trying to get back at their players a little bit, maybe.
Top 8, top 12. Okay.
I do think sometimes it can get a little bit nonchalant at the lead position at times. You know, you just have to throw up a guard, and sometimes you feel like that's a lot of area to work with, and that's when you can lose focus a little bit. But you really want to focus on putting all of those guards on a dime as if it's the 10th end of the championship final, and you need those two separated center guards. That kind of dialed in focus is going to take you a long way.
I think it's important, especially at a young age, if you're playing lead, to really embrace that position.
Get in there, get in there, get in there.
Some young players might think it's a bit boring playing lead because you're doing the same over and over, but it's such an important role of the team. And of course, not only the rock positioning, but just all the sweeping and communication that comes in with it.
Yeah, you see a lot of young players only ever a lot of players in general, not even just young players, only ever practicing throwing. But when you think of a lead in a second, they are sweeping so much more than they're ever throwing, and you see not a lot of practice of that aspect. But when you look at the best teams in the world, they not only have the best physical sweepers, but the best judgers as well. That's just such a huge part of the game.
Hefty, a little bit unlucky there with his run back. He makes contact, but runs the yellow onto the red. They've been
So we get one there.
Just on that side with those run backs.
very close with all the run backs today, Switzerland. Just
same ice as last.
haven't been too lucky with most of them. They'll be chasing a bit in this end. They might have to play a few more run backs.
I expect to see another one coming up. This is made by James.
Aim for 3. Easy, easy.
2, 3.
Right now, out there.
3.
Oh, good.
Well, real tight to the
Line's fine. Whoa, we're getting there. Line's perfect.
3.
Whoa, never
Don't
touch it.
Nice.
Okay. Yep, go a wee bit. Get a wee bit of separation. All right. Whoa, that's good. Nice shot.
Nice shot, James.
Pretty good here. Makes the run, opens up that center line.
Fantastic. There's guard again.
Guard again, tight. That same tight guard's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotland can put this in a spot that makes it really tough on Switzerland. If they just show the outside of the rock that's in the forefoot, it won't be super easy to get at, but also you take away the double if you're on that side. So if you can kind of guard both here, that would be ideal.
Enjoying a good start to the game, McFadden.
2. Line's good.
Good. Good. Hard, boys. You've got to get as far as you can.
Hard!
Okay.
Doesn't curl as much as they were hoping for. It does a job.
Yeah, guards the shot rock, but now Switzerland can get at the rock that's in the top of the 8 foot and either leave an angle on the shot rock or maybe get a little roll in behind those corner guards and leave a lonely yellow rock in the middle.
Climb in! How many matchsticks?
Scotland would have loved to curl that another half a rock or so across the center line to take away both.
Achtung!
Sehr schnell. 11, 10, 11.
Janis, hard! Ja! Hard!
Wow. That's a missed opportunity by Switzerland and Philip Hersley.
Yeah, we see those corner guards there take forever. You have to know that even that a hit there is going to stay straight if even the corner guards do.
Well, McFadden gets a second chance to put the guard in the right spot here.
Ooh, I think we're there. I think we're 3.
3 by itself.
Don't really want to touch. 3.
3 by itself.
How's line? Line's perfect. Here now.
Line's good. Don't touch
Line's
it.
perfect. I don't really
Don't
want to.
touch
We're
it.
like 2.5, 3.
Don't
Let it come
touch
down.
it.
Let it come down then. Line's good. 3. Line's really good. Nearly biting.
Nothing.
Let it come
Just
down.
shot.
Nice shot, Dunk. Good.
Nice goal. Good.
Nice shot.
It's what we call a sweeper's delight.
Good done.
I'm sure this late in the week, these sweepers are loving every break that they can get from sweeping these rocks. Body starts to get pretty tired. Although they're a lot younger than we are, so they might be a little fresh still.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I think you were born earlier in the year than me.
When's your birthday?
August 4.
November 19th.
Oh boy.
50. 50.
So a hit and roll off of the second shot call for Switzerland. Scotland were expecting this call. Not rolling anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can make that. Even if you list them all, then we go here and we're forcing. Yeah, for sure. What hand do you like? I think we're throwing intern. It's not going to curl a huge bunch. Okay. Like there. Yeah.
Cross-white thinking a couple of steps ahead.
You have to take. I like it.
Yeah, so rolling in towards the middle does fatten up the target a little bit on that short run back for Team Switzerland.
And we go around the corners and
Ross showing a lot of respect that they could make the triple in the middle, and still enough guards for him to come around to force.
we can almost overroll if we need to.
It's a nice swing. Yep. No, Dunk's swung one down this line already. So you know. What a nice goal.
All right. Close. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yes.
Yep.
Whoa. Close. Yep.
Close.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. No. Sit.
Good.
Yeah, pretty good roll.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be a double there.
Nice shot. Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also really like the way Ross thinks that he's totally fine with the force, not trying to go too hard, recognizing this is a good Swiss team. You might not get the steals you need, but you can control the scoreboard and come out with a win without ever stealing.
I think the call for Marco Hösli here is lift all the yellows and then maybe roll the shooter off of one of those corners, slide into the house.
Definitely could be there.
Well, it made a great run back in the first end to get Switzerland out of trouble. One, two, three, and rolls it in. Wow. Exactly like planned.
Wow.
That's the way to follow a blueprint.
He is having himself a game.
Fantastic. I don't think Scotland saw that coming when Cross-White was throwing his first rock. Absolutely stunning.
And for them to have the awareness to see the fact that they could come off of that side one there too. Just amazing.
Come on.
Well, so Ross White's plan not quite going the way they were thinking. We'll still have a chance to make this very short run back here. Deny Switzerland a score of 2. Needs to be made.
No.
What's he got here? He's got both. Some really good shooting back to back here from the skips. Well, I said it might be a battle of the skips earlier, and it certainly looks like it.
Pardon?
Skip's not going to keep beating them every single day. So.
Yeah, Ross couldn't afford to come around that and try the force like he had thought about earlier because they were able to get that red rock into the top of the 12-foot. It's really tough to bury there. You probably leave a come around tap for Switzerland no matter where you go.
Well, that's the second time in this game where Marco Hösli's made a run double to get the blank.
I'm impressed.
A couple of half shots from him in the third to give Scotland the 3, but even those were very close.
Yeah, Scotland could be running away with this game right now had not been for those two really key shots by their skipper.
Score's the same. Scotland's up by 1 after 4.
Just give it a chance to get round.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't too as close.
They're throwing an absolute ball, like the third and the skip throw a bomber rotation, so they'll not get the same finish in there as what we would do. So.
Apart from they throw it in and soft.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, air high. Oh.
Easy.
If it's twos, brush the line's good.
James. Yep, a wee bit. Go. Good. Nice shot. Nice, Shane.
Couple of scores, couple of blanks up on the board, but maybe a couple of the more exciting blank ends we've seen this week.
Yeah, those weren't blank ends that were just hit up and down the sheet. Those were, we had a lot of rocks in play until the Swiss skip came in. Cleared everything out.
So again, center guard, corner guard, just jumping in it with both feet here. Even in the fifth end, no talk of controlling the even ends for Switzerland. They just want to go ahead and score
Probably go on that,
a couple points.
Go with James. Right, have a look.
And we talked about that earlier, where some teams might
James is stoned.
be very scoreboard minded, but some teams are just aggressive and they just go out there and just try and score.
Yeah, and I think those teams that are aggressive and are just trying to score, if they do end up scoring lots of points, it doesn't matter quite as much when you score them. But for those teams that are scoreboard minded, they're often just jockeying for position and they're okay with just getting a single point as long as it's in the right end. So you see those games be a lot lower scoring.
Yannis Spies speaks German, French, and English. I think pretty much all the guys on the Swiss team do. Of course, German and French being 2 out of the 4 official languages in Switzerland.
It's a lot of languages.
Last ones are Italian and Romansh.
I did not know that.
It's a very multilingual country. Of course, bordering to a lot of countries as well.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
I'll try and give it to you guys.
Well, make it nice.
The Swiss boys will speak Swiss German, but that's not really an official language. It's more of a dialect.
A lot of curlers, I think, speak Swiss German, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Yes, and they're all from Switzerland.
Never. Whoa. 6. 7. Whoa. Dunk. 7. Dunkins. 6. Got to curl.
You might say Scottish is a bit of its own language as well, just not an official one.
No, they definitely have their phrases and their sayings. Sometimes with their accents, I'm like, huh? Have to ask them to speak twice.
Cao, pila.
Rot liegt schon im Feld.
Also der bringst du, glaube ich, kaum weg oben durch.
Wie?
Der oben durch ist sehr schwierig. Nein.
Ja. Weiß nicht, aber wenn er auf der kommt, stößt der ein bisschen raus, ne?
Ja.
Wie viel hast du von dem?
Von dem hast du halb.
Ja. Schon wenn wir 12 spielen, dann einfach sicher den Shooter behalten. Weißt du, meinst du, die bleiben beide hinter der Guard?
Ja, also der drückt sicher ein bisschen raus.
Ja. Aber einfach so, dass nicht zwei hinter der Guard bleiben.
12. 11,5, 12.
Wie? Ja, das ist okay.
Gar nicht.
Noch weniger gern. Gut.
Tiens! Tiens! Hard! Hard! Tiens! Hard!
This is the side that curls.
Now, this one's all over the guard.
It's not the first time we've seen an over curl on the Swiss seconds first rock. Could be the spot in the ice, but they may also want to watch that he maybe doesn't have a cutter in his hand.
It's got a little bit of an odd technique, Hefty, as well. Really looking down as he lets go of the rock. I wonder if he's always done that, or if he's just trying to focus on his release, maybe struggling with an in-hand, an in-turn.
Yeah, maybe he feels like he already knows he's on the broom. He's done the work with the slide, so he should be able to look down at that point. But I always find that difficult not to be seeing where I'm sending the rock. I find I have a better perception of what I need to do when I can see the broom in front of me.
We'll see some players will just have their eyes just dead focused on the broom all the way down. Some players will look up and down even a few times before letting go. I know some really good curlers who do both.
Personal preference?
No single. No single. No contact.
Let's see if we can notice as he lets go here. Marco Hefty.
Nice, ne? Good.
Come on.
Comes out, eyes on the broom, looking very straight down.
Yeah, right down.
It's a bit peculiar. This time just a little bit wide on the broom.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little bit of randomness in this release right now.
See, dead focus right down there to focus on the release. Doesn't mean it's wrong.
No, not at all. Just a bit different. So far, we've seen a little bit of everything from his release today. Missed a couple high side, over curled on a couple.
See,
1, 2.
slight peek down by Duncan as well, just not as obvious.
Where? 1, 2. Hard then. Oh, 2. Off then. Oh, 2. Oh, yep. Yep. Hard.
Finds a pretty good spot for the guard here, Duncan McFadden. Let's take a look at him, a little comparison. Again, just dead focus on that broom all the way down, but even he, just the very slightest look but more when he's let go of the rock, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just taking a look to make sure it's still on line. I guess when you think about a golf swing or a baseball swing, that point of impact, the release would be the closest thing we have to a point of impact here as curlers. So to want to keep your eye on what you're doing, you could have everything perfect the whole way and your release isn't good and there goes your throw. So maybe just feel a little bit more comfortable having your eye on the ball, so to speak.
Spot's perfect.
Do you ever look down at all?
No, I watch the broom the whole way.
I think I might look down just on the back step.
Just make sure you're going straight.
Something like that, I don't know. I don't think you should model anything after me anyway, but
Oh, trust me, I'm not.
Okay.
Stay there, stay there.
Where? You in? Go.
thank you.
Oh, line's good. Where? 2. Okay. Oh. 3 feet further to the left.
Easy.
Oh.
Switzerland's still in trouble.
James.
We're exact same as last.
James, go. James, go.
Scotland just lying the one, but
Oh. Carol,
really need to make a contact with one of these run backs.
Nice shot.
They're going to score.
Got to be a little bit careful here. The way that that redstone is lined up right now, it's not fully covering the yellow, so if you hit this the wrong way, you could actually leave a few yellow rocks lined up in the center.
Again, very close. Look at all those reds just stacking up on the right. Means they've been close with the run backs.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those today from this Swiss team, just so close.
One more and then still. Just, well, as long as we leave.
Like, that is really straight in there.
As long as we cover this side then.
Yeah, no, I think just same spot. I can't see him playing it. I'd imagine he's going to try and open it up.
I think what they're talking about, if Switzerland can play the outturn, get to the shot stone, pick it out and score 2 that way.
I think it is there to pick out, but probably not to stick your shooter with how straight it is.
I think that's what they were saying as well.
3.
These guards are so important. They're not the toughest shots to make.
Tight, like tight, really tight.
If you don't focus and you put one into the rings, then it'd be a lot easier for Switzerland, and it could really foil the whole end. This one actually coming a bit too close.
That's good.
It's going to be a lot easier for Switzerland to make something happen here, but they might be switching gears.
Yeah, they have to be so careful now with just that single red rock in the rings. If they ever lose that one, that's their savior right now. They could see their skipper throwing against 3 or 4 yellows. If they have another red one frozen to that yellow, then they can try something a little bit more carefree as a run back.
Bleib einfach. Da hat er vielleicht den Double, aber ich glaube, da geht der mit und dann haben wir den Draw 4 Fuß. Was ist das? Das ist die Gräderseite. So ist es. Ja. Chris. Vorab. Da vorne abziehen. Man muss nur vorne abziehen, man kann nicht durchkommen. Den ist gut. Absatz. Vor 8. Vor 8. Vor 4. Den ist gut. Vor 8. Vor 8. Vor 8. Vor 8. Ist vor 8. Achtung. Den ist perfekt. Vor 4. Achtung. Vor 4. Vor 4.
So he's just playing this freeze. If he gets the line, it's pretty good. It's a great shot. Has it surrounded on both sides now. Might have left enough room for Ross White to play a little tap and roll on that red rock, but becomes pretty dangerous now for Scotland.
Try playing that. There. What?
He'd be freezing the inside. He's going to have half stone on the outside to.
Yeah, but it can stuff into here. That's.
No, I mean on the red, just straight onto the yellow.
That's spinning then.
No, if he throws just dead hack.
Thank you. Well, what do you want to do then? Give me an option rather than say no.
I like the wee check, or like close to nose.
I think that's so tough that he's not even got inside of it.
It is
You're
tough.
catching that yellow.
It is tough. It is there. so straight on that side, don't ever give him a shot for 3.
Can you cover both?
Just throw a guard.
Just take the angle
It's
off.
not an awful call. Try.
You just put that. Do you want to call time?
You could try and tap these angles. No? Yeah, I like that call, James. Just try and bump these angles a bit.
What does it make? What difference does it make?
Well, it doesn't line them all straight up.
Takes the angle off, stops that, and it stops that. Just corner freeze it then, really.
Just corner freeze it or...
Corner freeze is perfect, but you can afford to have the tiniest bump. Corner freeze isn't perfect, you still have that. Okay.
It's a tough shot.
It's also straight down there as well. Has he got a hard shot, an easy shot for 2 if we try and kill this and try and split them open? Yes, probably that.
Depends how hard you throw it. You're going to throw a lot of weight and you're probably going to shift a lot.
Like you need quite a bit of weight to get this one out.
Yeah. But
like
I think that goes...
That goes for fun.
I think that goes at nice peel. But just these ones, I think, are kind of going to...
That just goes to here. And that doesn't go much further than that.
I think if you know
You're just giving him a 1 then.
Do I ask Greg? We're using up quite a lot of time in it. It's quite an important shot as well.
You never like this, Ross?
No, not really.
I don't know.
It's so tough.
We don't make that good. We could end up giving away 3.
I'm not playing that donkey.
I think that's the shot you could almost give away 3 then. Not a big fan of it.
Well, we go here. He's got a pretty tough one to actually bump that yellow far enough and not lose his red.
See if we did lose this red, right, and just flicked our yellow.
Okay, I'm not touching it. I don't want to throw it. You are barely, if you're ever high, it's kicking about here. If you're ever tight, he's just got that for 3. I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm not touching this one.
The 3 rock.
Yeah, I think it's so straight.
It's
You're
tough.
barely touching this and this one, and you're almost still maybe touching it.
I like the corner freeze.
You can try and
Were you guys trying to think about split the guard and almost get 2 shots out of one?
maybe try.
If you split the guard and make it good, he's got to make a good one for 2.
Can you ever get the inside of the 3 on the freeze?
That's what we thought, but then the boys were worried in case he played a hack waiter and just bumped the red.
Is
he going to hold the shooter though then?
Nothing
If we make that, he probably can't hold the shooter.
Hold for 3.
It's not so much
He can hold
that
the
one
3
we're trying
for
to
2,
cover.
for sure.
It's like,
Yeah, he doesn't get more than 2.
I think he's not getting 3 putting this around.
You want to take the
We're only just
angle
trying
of
to make
this.
it as hard as
Ideally, you want to
possible
just
for
shift
an
this one here.
straight
wanna
guards,
have-
is this shot tough for 2?
Is that what you're going to say?
Is that shot even
No,
there for 2?
You throw hack at it. Just that red sticking.
You can leave him out for sure. What's your gut saying?
I want to guard something.
Yeah, well I think
Since whether we try and bump or do we just...
I think you got to probably try and play the bump, but almost have it in your mind that your B shots the guard and the
If we throw the
halfway.
guard, we can't lose 3, and I think it makes him play a tough one.
If it hangs up and guards the outside of the 3, that's fine.
Yeah.
And if it curls up, you've got an option. Totally cool.
Here.
Nice. Yeah, guard there. And if it's heavy, we curl and we go there.
Like this.
Certainly a lot of talking.
Yes.
I
I think they decided on that little split on the guards, if I'm not mistaken, which James Craig brought up pretty early in the discussion. And
Check this one, or we just try just straight over it?
We'll see what kind of line is.
Okay.
And this is the best way to take away multiple shots for Team Switzerland. You could pretty much take away everything for 2 if you make this one as called, and it's really not that hard a shot. They've played so many shots down this line.
Just even as it lies, is it that easy to score 2?
No, it was never that easy. That's why I'm surprised they took so long with that discussion.
Could just guard this side and have them.
Yeah, their fear
Through
with
the hole.
the straight guard is either they go through the hole or they could play the yellow combination. But by playing this little split, you take away the angles for the yellow combination, and you take away both sides that they could access with that red.
Off. Get off.
So just going to be the guard, and then I think that's a pretty good result. You might see Switzerland then play the right-hand side, just try and chip their own red. It's pretty tough to make, and it's just for 2.
Yeah, they could certainly play this yellow combination in the middle, but I also think that with that one, they spill the red rock on the center line top 4 out of the forfeit and probably only score 1, but at this point, probably looking at their easiest shot to make sure they score.
8 is ook goed. Dus klap daar gaat niet af daar. Nee, dat was al 8. 8? Wil je handle?
Yeah, looks like they're just playing this for 1.
Definitely would be his easiest shot to come around with the in-turn and just chip it. That's really tough, and you risk the steal.
Just yellow, 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 red, yellow.
Yep.
Sounds hard, but it's lined up pretty well.
Yeah, that was why Scotland would have loved to have just tapped that yellow rock a hair and rolled off, because it takes that easy angle away. It's how they could have accomplished so many things with that call that they had, which is why I loved the call. Didn't quite get the result they wanted, but had the right idea for sure.
Let's see what they go here. There you go. Just like I just said. Don't want to say it again. 1 for Switzerland after all that. And it's a tied game. And that is half-time as well. Both teams will have a 5-minute break. We'll look at some highlights. Some stats maybe. And then we'll be back with this exciting matchup.
You just go normal after?
We have to guard the easy shot.
Second end. Just a draw for 2 for Switzerland.
2.
After the first end was blanked.
Ja, wat zeg, sorry jongens.
In the third. Just a little bounce off on the freeze attempt by Switzerland leaves a no set for Ross White to score 3, which is made no problem.
They just blasted, we were kind of...
I didn't mind.
Another blank in 4 takes us to N5. And it's a pretty nice yellow, 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 red, yellow combination to score 1 for Switzerland to tie the game after 5.
Games happening elsewhere in the arena this evening. Canada and Germany are tied at 3 playing the 6th end. Norway has a 5-4 lead over Italy playing the 6th end. Also in 6th, New Zealand and the United States deadlocked at 3 points each. And in the 5th end, Sweden and China are tied at 2.
Gut, was mir wirklich gut gefallen hat, ist das Auftreten und die Leistung des Kickers. Genial gesagt, das im Spiel gehalten. Mal für mal. Super, weiter so. Geil, einmal aufgerüttelt. Haben wir gesagt, wir brauchen Reisser. Das ist super. Reisser? Reisser? Fokus. Ich habe das Gefühl, ihr seid voll da, ihr wollt. Das ist gut. Frontend muss man mehr Druck machen. Ja. Wir sind jedem Handy.
Oh, we're good for time.
We used a little bit there, but it was worth it.
It's 19 minutes, we had 38 at the start.
Yeah. There'll be a quick end in there somewhere.
All right.
Good. Probably didn't need our timeout. I think that was the right shot all along, but it's just a cut off.
Confirmation, guys.
Just in case we had to try, you thought we had to try and bomb it.
It was the most important shot at the half even.
Yeah, actually.
Comparing our two teams so far this evening through 5 ends, Scotland with quite an edge over Switzerland overall. Their team outplaying Switzerland 90% to 74%. The difference really has just been that Swiss skip making a couple of huge shots to get his team out of some major trouble this game and keep this one close.
Linie goed.
Easy, easy.
3, 3. Linie goed, heel veel plaats. En een 4.
Stand off. Stand off.
En een 4.
Stand off.
Wow.
15 nu. Steeds gaan naar 3. Licht.
Stay. Squat.
Sorry.
That rock just pulling up in time for Switzerland as the teams make it back to the ice for the 6th end. Here we see you and Kyle looking to put up a corner guard. Sometimes we see the ice running a bit quicker. After the halftime break, the ice makers come out, mop the sheet.
Don't want to touch it.
On your brush.
Okay, it's coming down.
Just by it.
See both these guards pretty much unswept to.
That's so straight. Change the player.
Yeah, I know. Must think this is an easy game, so they thought he'd change early on.
Mate, that is so straight in there.
Straight, is it?
Goed, zeer lengte hebben.
Is that a good start to the game, or good first half?
8, terug. Ja. 8. Ja. Van 8. 8. Ja. Ja. Van 8. 4.
Good.
That's it. Good.
What way? Like a heavy
Just like
draw.
back line. Sidelines, go there.
Yeah.
I like it. Over there.
I don't mind moving it. The setup's really good, so.
Back line.
I really like this call by Scotland.
Not even that. Back 12's close.
Do I throw a wee bit less than that? Like weight-wise, like back 8.
You need to make the roll.
Yeah. I thought you make that half stone.
Back 8's fine, you just need to make the roll.
Yeah, back 8, back 12. Yeah.
Okay.
This accomplishes a lot of things at once. It moves that dangerous red rock off of the center line, and you can get in behind your own corner guard with this call. Even if you don't roll behind the corner, opens up the middle for yourself. You can use that corner later on.
Don't, James. Hard! Hard, Duncan! Go, Duncan!
It's heavy. It's really heavy.
Yes!
Spin back, spin back.
That's a really good shot by you and Kyle.
Yeah, really nice.
There's been a slight change
Perfect. Did you just go when I say?
at Switzerland.
Through.
Actually subbing out Marco Hefti, who had a tough game, only playing 50% through the first 5 ends, and you might say it's a bit rough to sub him out at half-time. At the same time, could be a good tactical call to bring an alternate. You've stuck it. It's not something you see quite very often in curling, I think. But
No, but in pretty much every other sport, if you're watching professional hockey and a player's not having a good game, they'll be benched for a lot of it. So whether that's the reason or not, we're not too sure. But in Marco's defense, pretty much everything he missed was a run back, and just missed a lot of those run backs. They were difficult shots that he was throwing and was just on the wrong side. But we'll see if a change up here can maybe help Team Switzerland get it together earlier in these ends.
yeah, hopefully it won't kill his confidence fully for the week. It's a little bit rough to be taken off the ice, but if you're having a bad day, might be a good thing.
Yeah, come off and reset. He can maybe use the team's ice session tonight. All teams will have a allocated ice time. Often it's used to match rocks, but sometimes you can just take your player out there for 10 minutes and work through a release thing or a slide thing that they might need to gain their confidence back.
One thing is having missed some shots, but then if you're not playing your best and your confidence is low, it's really hard to pick yourself up from that. That could be hard for the team as well. I mean, to second guess yourself for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you can start second guessing yourself in a lot of areas. As a sweeper, when you're judging, sometimes you just feel off.
Obviously a lot of pressure on Yves Stocker as well to just come in, and there's the first miss from him.
Tough, he hasn't even barely had a slide. Now asked to throw a double takeout in the first end that he's played.
Exactly. To have not really, I didn't follow it too closely, but there's a good chance he wouldn't have slid a single time during the pre-game practice either. Just maybe doing some sweeping and some split timing, and then to just come in and to have the touch and the feel of the ice, it's tough as well. So we'll see if that works out for Switzerland. It was a first good throw, but a mistake on his second one here. Stocker.
Close! No! Off! Yeah, whoa! Yeah! Fire! Whoa! Close! Down! Hard, down! Hard, roll! And roll! Hard! Nice shot.
Wow, great shot by James Craig. He's playing really well, and he has all week.
Yeah,
I mean, 17 years old.
I was just going to say that, how impressed I am with him at his age. Not just with the shot making, he's made some beautiful shots, but he deals with Ross White in the house very well. You'll notice that although he's the second, he actually does go into the house with Ross, and seems to be a great caddy for him, offering, you know, some information when he needs to, but also just really pumping up Ross White and helping with his confidence. It was James who first saw that little call that they had ended up playing after that timeout in the fifth end. He has a good eye for someone so young.
Also, he's a little bit different than some of the other guys on the team. He's a little more calm and collected.
Reserved, yes.
Which maybe adds to the dynamic of the team.
It's nice to have someone out there who can keep it a little bit more even keel.
Do we need to? No, they do that. Then we're kind of, okay. Hack.
Careful! Yep. Hack! Whoa! Close! Clean!
Was the alternate for Ross White last year in Aberdeen. He lost the final. In the starting lineup this week, as a couple of the guys last year aged out. He's taken Robin Bryden's place at third.
just made a beautiful hit and roll there. Get as much separation as he could from those two rocks. Took that red rock out of a dangerous place. Those precise hit and rolls are a lot harder than they look.
Go hard, Eve. Oh.
Janis. Yep. Tap hier. Schnell ist es. Tap hier.
Tap hier.
With the way that these rocks are angled, Scotland will leave a double somewhere for Switzerland, which I'm sure they'll take that opportunity, not having last rock here, try to limit the damage.
Oh, clean. Yep.
James!
You're good. You're good. We don't need to hold too far.
No.
Really good.
Good dunk.
Nice dunk. Yep. Ja, so. 2 Drittel. Nice, good call. In. Das ist für 2 eingespielt. Super. His next shot's that. Yeah.
Only gets rid of the 1, so Scotland's still lying 2.
Still not giving us any angles.
Okay.
We need to score 2.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think?
It's a pretty easy double, but we score 2 that way.
That's a way of getting a 2, or we go right here.
Then if we ever slip, he goes to that, and then it's just.
Well, we've got that one to try
But
with.
only for 1. What do you like?
My first thought was round.
My like he just does that.
Either where James said, just gonna half check it.
Yeah, there.
You could still throw it to the wing. And even if he makes the roll perfect, you've got a 4-foot run back for 2.
Can score 3 though.
If he doesn't make it good,
I like that. That was my first thought. Was there?
go there.
I like
It's
that.
to cover a fuse.
Yeah.
You go there.
Cover a fuse, but just hope you don't give him that.
Ross, if we go there, he just makes the double, and then we've got to draw the 4-foot for 2. We throw there, we make him play a really tough hit and roll. He has to make the roll if we throw the wing.
Kind of like that call by you and Kyle.
Even if he makes it perfect, you're going to have a shot.
That's an
for
easy
2.
shot to make, and you're forcing Switzerland to make a really tough one.
Yeah, that perfect hit and roll, like we just said, such a difficult shot that they're forcing Switzerland to make.
He's got a half-stone double.
If he makes the perfect roll,
I think so,
you
Paul.
should
He's going to have to make a real good one down that line.
still have a shot for 2. You can run that red guard and make the double. If he ever shows a piece, you can chase it,
Exactly.
tap it out for 3.
Make it easier on yourself, play this easier shot, make the other team make an extremely difficult shot against 3. Instead of trying to make yourself make a draw essentially on a dime, the other call they were making behind that center line guard, so much can go wrong with that if you don't make it absolutely perfect.
Got to be careful though, it's running quick to the wing, I was going to say.
Sweepers backing right off of this one.
Okay.
der. Der ist viel zu klein. Kontrolliert die Länge.
Just, I don't know. A lot of talking, a bit of a commotion, and then
Yeah, I think they maybe overthought that one just a little bit. Did so much thinking about where to place it and knowing he wanted that one to be behind the tee line. Just got a little bit complacent with it. Trying so hard not to maybe leave a double to sit buried that he added a little bit too much extra.
worst part is, not sure if that was the case there, but being talked into a call and then missing it. Not sure if Ross White loved it in the end. They didn't seem to really talk about it being pretty quick to the wing, but I had about 14-1 when I clocked that myself, so.
And easily through the rings. No sweeping.
See if he makes this hit and roll. Well, made it pretty good.
Now Ross is really going to hate that call, I think. He wanted to come around a piece tucked on the top red one. Just another great shot by the Swiss skip to get his team out of trouble. He's been making a few really key shots this game.
11-8
All of a sudden, not a lot of talking at all between the Scots.
No, they'll want to really focus in here and try to make this shot.
Just a kind of quiet frustration. But important for Ross White to make this one here. Make the double, try and roll the shooter onto the rings for two. Oh, that's so close. I'm not sure if they would have been able to roll that shooter on. But to tickle the red and not remove it, that is a little bit unlucky. I think the Swiss boys know how that feels. They've been close with a lot of runbacks as well this game. That's a steal of one for Switzerland. So 4-3 they lead after 6.
50-50 halt.
Zijn we het?
Einer vor, Center. Kannst du jetzt vorne.
Blanken we need to, but we're all over them.
Let's go.
Zwei ist gut. Drei ist gut.
Sind dort?
3. Warte. 3.
Sind dort? 3.
4. Meinen 4.
3. Galop Film. Galop Film.
Weg. Ganz weg. 3 ist gut.
Länge ist ganz mehr näher als der Besser.
Linie kommt perfekt.
Steal of one for Switzerland. So now they lead it.
Another steal that kind of came out of nowhere. Felt a little bit like the Scottish team had a bit more discussion maybe than they needed to, or were overthinking things a little bit and just lost focus. And then the frustration after the first one maybe led to a bit of complacency on the second one as well. Can imagine if that run, the little double there that Ross White played was for 2, he maybe dials in a little bit more.
Good shot. That's fine.
Sorry, boys.
I wonder if Scotland's just a little bit frustrated how they haven't quite been able to capitalize on the ends they've been setting up.
No, they've had some huge ends setting up, and Swiss skip just bailing out his team. It's tough to be that, angry or mad when the other team is just making good shots, but you can definitely get frustrated when you know you're doing all of the right things and you're still finding yourself trailing by 1 point in this game.
Seeing this whole straight spot on the out turn going away again here. Just hanging on the corner. Ends up as a centre guard.
Yeah, that rock had nice weight, just too much ice for that spot.
Yeah. It's a nice weight down here.
Take a look at the other games going on this evening here at the Queen's Place Emirates Centre. Canada leads Germany by a score of 4-3 playing the 7th end. Norway up 7-4 over Italy in the 7th end. Also in 7, Switzerland up 4-3 over Scotland. And in 7, the United States leading New Zealand 5-3.
Yep. It's gonna rob. It's gonna rob.
Whoa. Wow! Okay.
That weight wasn't even that bad. That weight was fine.
Beetje länger wie voor 2 end. Is goed. Voor 1 end. Voor de 12. Ja. Van 8. Van 8. Voor 8. Voor 4.
Here we see the Swiss alternate who came in after the 5th end break, replacing second Marco Hefti. First time we've seen that happen, have someone come in mid-game. Seemed like Marco was fine. Maybe there's an injury or an illness that we don't know about, but definitely was struggling. Marco playing only 50% through 5 ends, so be interesting to see how this switch does for the Swiss team.
It's just right on the peel line there, if we ever need to rip the centre.
Right, let's make it good then. Come on, Paul. Speed's nice down here.
Nice.
Like 8, 7, 8.
Close.
7, 8.
Whoa. Close line. Yep. Whoa.
7,
Whoa.
eight.
No.
7, 8.
Okay, dunk.
Score,
close.
Carl.
You need to bury. Yep, go
Go
dunk.
dunk.
Go dunk. Hard.
Go dunk. Sparta, that's
Hard,
Sparta.
go, Barry.
Hard, Paul.
Hard.
Paul.
Hard.
Go. Every
Right
end, go.
there. Nice shot.
Okay, James, nice shot.
Really nice come around there. Does get just about fully buried, I believe.
Hey. Super.
Come on.
Goed, Super.
Tip. Whoa. Tip. Hard. Yes.
Ja, come on.
Great run back played there.
Come on, boy.
Hard. Yes.
Ja,
Come on. That's safe. Yep, I don't mind that.
Hold my hand, a quarter. Yep.
Ain't nice ball. Bill.
Whoa. Close. Really close. Yep.
Good, James.
Hard on the other one.
Yep.
Okay, good effort.
Good. Nice shot.
Great shot by James Craig. He's having a great game, this young player.
Did this go out?
Yeah. Yes.
Getting rid of all 3 reds in the middle. Might not have got this side red all the way out of the rings, but certainly gets it out of the way.
Okay, good effort.
Good. Nice shot.
Okay, so ik denk dat hier heeft 10 gezien. Zit hier 2.
4-2 finde ich gut. Müssen wir schon nehmen.
Okay.
4-4.
Wat 12. 3. 3.
Yep.
Choosing to play around the corner guard here.
Yeah. Hard.
3.
Tip. Hard. Ja, wie stil.
Bounce sicher.
Pas op.
Niet gebouncen.
Be a little bit dangerous without hammer.
Yeah, always scary playing around a corner guard when you don't have hammer.
Okay, Steve.
We've looked at a couple of releases today. Well, you can see that look down. Seems to be a bit of a running thing for the Swiss team.
That one just coming up a little bit short. Now leaving an opportunity for Scotland to use their corner guards.
Yep, good. 7, 6, hard. Hard, Jun. 7, just go for it, boys. Yep, hard, Jun. You're shifting it. Yep, go, go, go. Hard. As far as you can, boys. Hard. Hard. Hard, keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, 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 go. Nice.
Nice shot, though.
Great sweep by you and Kyle.
Nice shot, though.
He was helping me out there. So we keep going.
Mannen 12, aber ich will nicht. Heb so snel de Galbi nodig. Vind er aan. Okay. Kom een klein mee.
Being behind the tee line, they could just come and freeze down to this yellow rock. Doesn't look like they can see a whole lot of it.
Cut die lengte.
Ja.
Go! 12 auf!
Achtung!
12 auf, 13! 12 auf!
Go! Janis! Janis! Yep!
All the way.
Hard!
Park.
Hard! Hard! Whoa! Whoa! Tip! Tip! Yep!
Real nice touch shot there.
Yeah, great weight control. Must have been able to see a little bit of a piece of it.
See this call now by
Take half.
Ross White. A little audacious, but probably keeping the blank in mind here. If not get the double, maybe try and at least group those reds.
Yeah, and because this one is higher in the rings than the one that's in the open, this is the easiest way to get them grouped together. But you want to make sure you roll this in somewhere.
Good. Good on. Send.
That's fine, Donkey.
Seems like they think that's on the rings.
Yeah, I believe it stayed in there on the side, which means Switzerland probably has to hit that. So really key for Duncan McFadden to stick that over on the side there.
Wonder if it might run a bit straight all the way out here.
It looked like Duncan's did. They really didn't have a lot of ice at all, and he still hit it on the nose. I do think these Scottish stones are running a little bit straighter than the Swiss. But out here on the wings, there's often a bit of a ridge where it'll run on.
Kom on, gå till länge spelet.
Yeah. Hey, good.
That was great sweeping. They looked like they were just pulling that one back just about the whole way down the sheet.
Yeah. Hey, good.
Dat is goed. Ja, het is gewoon een heuse call op de call. Ja, show it.
I think just try and make the roll on top. The double's quite hard to stick, so we're going to get it forced anyway. Yeah, just that.
Hard. Yep. Oh. Close. 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 Done close. You in. Whoa. You in. Hard. Hard.
This rolls a bit too far. Halfway under cover, but I think we'll see Switzerland ignore that yellow.
Ja, ausprobiert. Ist 5,5 bitte.
With Switzerland already being shot rock, there's no need for them to chase the yellow one, try to put one in a good spot and
Really good throw, bud.
make Ross White draw for his single. We actually haven't seen Ross throw a ton of draws yet this game either. Last one he threw went through the ring, so I wonder if that'll be in his mind here. Draw for one.
Binnen 12! Binnen 12! Binnen 12! Binnen 12, backline!
Calling this one heavy.
Binnen 12!
Going for a line here to even get past the guard. They're by, so just trying to bury it.
Come on.
Not sure if that was the right way call by the sweepers, calling back line halfway down the sheet.
I actually wonder a little bit if that grabbed up something. It looked like it had quite a bit of rotation, that it just picked up halfway down the sheet and really started to curl. Really rotating there. I don't know if it quite started out that way, and all the weight just seemed to come off of it.
Come on.
That or they were just really wrong on the weight call. But either way, a great result, and now Scotland needs the forfeit for their 1 point.
Last stone, 7th end, Ross White. Let's see if he's adjusted his weight.
Need forfeit, guys.
Sweeper saying whoa right away.
Let's make sure we're on the
Curl
back
if
one,
you have
James.
to.
We're definitely going to need the back one.
Curl then.
Might have backing here.
Curl.
McFadden going. Try and carve it in here, get some finish onto the back red.
You're fine.
They're onto that one, but it's a steal of one for Switzerland again. Ross White, a little heavy on the draw. Wow. Momentum shift in this one. Switzerland scores again. That's 3 ends in a row. A single point for the Swiss boys. They will lead this game 5-3.
Heute spielen, Jungs.
Ja, it's fine. Los.
Just not throwing any of that else. You need to throw them to us. You can drag them.
Zwölf. So lange. Platz. 12. Ja. 12. Nochmal lange. Lange gut. 12. 4. Und 8. Und 8. Ist 8. Bringen Sie da. Was tut er? 8. Ja. Ja. 8.
Wat wist hij?
That's it. Look at the scoreboard there. 1-1-1. 3 singles in a row for Switzerland, 2 of them being steals.
Oh, well, James, don't. Yours, Dunk. Yours. Have a look, boys. 3.
Good.
3 ends to go.
Nice shot.
This being the 8th end, it would be a pretty key end for Scotland to pick up a few points.
Very key. They can pick up even just their deuce here, and then for Scotland in the 9th end, they'll be only down 1 coming home with the hammer. Comparing the leads, there's not much to compare. They're deadlocked there at 84%. Both leads having quite a good game. There have been a lot of ends that the team, especially the team without Hammer, as we're seeing the second guard come in here, have set things up perfectly and put a lot of pressure on the other team.
Yep, do that, feet hard. Yeah, feet deep. Go hard. Where's now?
Split. Very good. Top 8, top 12. Perfect.
Not sure if it was by accident or by design, but by Switzerland keeping that guard also a little bit higher this time, it avoids Scotland being able to play that little tick shot and roll into the rings that they had played previously in the game. So maybe Switzerland recognizing that that's a weapon for Scotland and keeping it higher to avoid that play.
Whoa! Send it. Line is good. Line is good. We're on it. No bounce in this line. Set.
Nice shot, Ian. Good sweep, boys. Good job.
Another good pair by you and Kyle. That's a great start to the end from both leads.
Ja, ist gut. Läuft gleich wie dort, wo vorher hast gespielt.
Oh.
Vorne 4. 12. 10.
Sehr lang. Backline. Backline.
Backline. T-line.
Yep.
8. T-line.
Yep.
T-line. 12.
T-line. Tier.
T-line.
Hard.
In de 4. Oh, Janis. In
Hard.
de 4.
Yep. Hard. Yep.
Still heavy here. You've stuck it. Tough for him to just come in and find draw weight.
Okay.
He was subbed in at halftime.
Yeah, that's not an easy task to have, especially not played in the pre-game practice or taken many slides. Tough to come in and make a precise draw. Numbers not really reflective of Eve's play here because he has only played a few ends, but James has had a great game himself, really hasn't missed much.
All right, Doug. Come on, Paul.
He's made some really good ones.
Go, Doug. Right it. Sit.
This is one of very few mistakes. Probably the only real mistake we've seen from him so far. To not keep the shooter in play.
Come on, let's get off this. We've run flattens. Need to keep it challenged.
Bring die Mitte gut. Bring jetzt vorne, das gar nicht mitnehmen.
Ja, das ist sehr gut. Come on.
Drüben bis vorne 12. Vorne 12.
Get on.
Länge ist gut. Vorne. Länge ist perfekt. Länge ist perfekt. Vorne 12. 12. Vorne 12. Muss nicht mit. Ja. Yep. Kannst noch, muss. Yep. Go. Hey. Yep. Good piece.
Good job.
Yeah. That's all.
That leaves a really good angle for Switzerland to use. Good lesson that early on in the end especially, you really don't need to necessarily get everything frozen. It's more about keeping the angle and keeping things higher in the rings in front of your opposition stone so that they're usable. The smallest bounce off, even if you're close on the weight. That's a big mistake, but this one keeping a great angle and in a great spot for Switzerland.
Ball on.
Really close.
Dead hard.
Oh.
Dead hard.
You in. Good. Hard. Watch this yellow's gone. Okay. That was after.
Didn't curl enough for a break there. Ross White reasonably happy just to shift things around here. Open up the forfeit a bit.
Switzerland makes a good hit and roll here, though. Could see Scotland in a fair bit of trouble. One of the first times we'll see Scotland in trouble a little bit earlier on in the end. Usually they're set up pretty well until Skips rocks. seen a few big shots from Swiss skip Marco.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Ease. Whoa.
Well, this one over curling by a mile for Philip Hersley. Not sure what happened there.
No, that was the straight side too. I'm not sure if he maybe got that started a little bit on release or caught a bit of a spot, so maybe less weight than they had expected, but really not the result they were looking for, and actually got quite fortunate to come off the side of the rock like he did and spill into the forefoot.
Back four. Back four, back 8 way.
Ja. Ich kann gar nicht so rummachen auf mich.
Philip hasn't had very many draws here. Just one, and that one was missed, so that's why you see the draw number is so low. But right now, really getting outplayed by Duncan McFadgen.
Whoa!
Good, go.
Good.
Hard, good, move it.
Hard. Hard, good. Hard. Shift in there. Whoa. Whoa, no. Nice shot.
Another good shot by Duncan.
Yeah, leaves a pretty juicy pocket behind the tee line there.
What a managed spot. But in the
Come out.
Scotland has some options. They've kind of got them on both sides.
Ja, ist schwierig.
Der ist auch.
Der James ist blöd. Den würde ich nie.
Nein, würde ich auch nicht. Und der geht auch nicht.
Es ist schlimm, wenn der rausjumpt. Wenn es nicht dran ist, vielleicht auch.
Wir verlieren zu Schalterrot, das finde ich nicht so schlimm.
Aber er tappt nachher werden zu viel nicht
Rot
schneller.
hinten, verlieren wir vielleicht.
Dann kannst du mit Backline oder so probieren. Aber
Nein, der ist...
Nein, den würde ich nicht riskieren.
Gewünscht gar nicht viel. Der Jam
Das ist ja nicht so. Nein, das will ich nicht. Seht ihr da?
Ich glaube, ich hätte mehr.
Ich würde schauen, dass wir die zweimal noch ein bisschen haben, was sie mal noch mit.
Okay.
Time out for Switzerland.
Haben wir auch überlegt. Aber sie haben das der. Wenn sie dort reinschiessen.
Was für den Runde?
Ja, also mehr...
Was machen?
Würdest du mal noch Jam, oder würde ich nicht?
Der Jam, der reinrollen geht
Ist schon
fast
schwierig,
nicht.
geht, aber der Kreis innen, einer dort,
den finde ich auch nicht so
innen ganz leicht.
So ist es sogar.
Das Problem ist einfach, wenn wir da gehen und sie wegpeelen, nachher geht der auf der und unserer geht wieder.
Ja, da haben wir noch der.
Wir können vielleicht sogar dort zurückrollen.
Ganz leicht tappen.
Es ist einfach langsam viel Gelb drin. Den finde ich noch geil.
Ja.
Wie schnell?
Und der ein bisschen hinterher da.
Ja.
Backline, oder? Gut.
Ja, kannst du Backline spielen?
Okay, komm.
Der Spieler mit ist geil.
Was meinst du Backline? So?
12.
Ja.
Was ist wichtiger? Ich glaube, ich würde da
Schauen, dass so der Winkel behalten ist zum Oben.
Ja. Aber ich glaube, auch wenn wir da gehen, ist nicht schlecht.
Ja.
Wenn sie auf den mitschiessen, ist okay.
Ja.
Ich habe es lieber, wenn sie auf den mitschiessen, als wenn sie da einfach nochmal rausrollen können. Backline?
Was meinst du?
So finde ich gut.
Also recht
Wenn
lang
er
gerade.
sehr viel Geld und der ankriegt, ist es auch okay.
Ja, so viel kommt sogar nicht.
Ja, ich glaube es auch nicht. Aber es wird ein kleines Flat in der Mitte.
I believe the call here is with backline weight, trying to get as much across the nose of that yellow top four as they can and push it backwards, keep their red one in front of the tee line.
Für längs sind wir auch okay. Wenn er hin 8 in 12 ist, ist er auch noch gut. 0-0-5 finde ich noch akzeptabel, ja.
Wenn es easy ist, wahrscheinlich einer für 0.
Der Roll ist wichtig. Komm mal, Fi.
Immer ein bisschen dranbleiben.
Ja. Heck! Heck! Heck!
They were looking for back line, saying hack might be overthrown a little bit. That would mean it run a little bit straight.
It's backline! Backline! Backline!
Janis! Ja! Hard! Hard! Ja! Hard! Shoot them!
Gut! Gut so! Tipptopp!
Pretty good results. Not easy now for Scotland to get in there for a second point.
Good top.
Try and kill that.
Okay. And this the call? Right.
Trying to hit roll off of the red here, knowing it's going to jam. Might set up a short run double. The Yellowstone they had to the left of the screen there.
Yep. Whoa.
Just kill a red and leave another yellow in there.
Yeah, they know how dangerous this rock at the top of the forefoot is. If they don't remove it, Switzerland can just tap it a foot and Scotland might not be able to score.
Nice done. Good.
Makes it pretty good.
Yeah, it does line it up for that double that you just mentioned.
Good. Yeah, upper group. Smooth bouncer.
So that yellow at 1 o'clock could run that in. A little unfortunate for the red to roll towards the center line. Might be hard to squeeze that one out.
Ja, aber wenn da bist, schaut sie auch nicht, oder?
Ja, aber da vorne hat er noch ein bisschen Risiko, wenn er drauf schießt. Zähmt schneller. Gut, er hat einfach der.
Ja.
Das ist scheiße.
Er hat ihn lieber da.
Okay.
Wenn er kürzer ist und da ist, ist auch nicht schlimm. Also ist okay.
Aber der Bumper wäre nicht so geil, oder? Wenn dann nur
Nein, nur
bis so. Mitte 12 oder was muss ich gehen? Muss es 8 mehr.
Jetzt mehr, ja.
So. Da steht der Draw gespielt. Da ist er extrem cool.
Schützen ist okay, oder? Profilänge. Okay. Es kommt am Schluss ein bisschen ab.
Mitte, ja. Kommt es jetzt.
Ich finde 4-1 nicht schlecht. Komm on.
Ziellein!
In 8!
Vorne 4!
In 4! Vorne 4!
Den ist gut! Runter!
Ziellein!
Ja,
Ziellein!
Wow!
Ziellein!
Ziellein vorne 4!
Ziellein vorne 4! Gut, vorne 4!
Ja!
Dann ist gut!
Janis!
Come on! Come on!
Ja.
Perfekt.
Müsste doch nicht Shot.
Well,
It's a great shot.
Schau, was sie jetzt machen. Perfekt.
well, you see it. Marco Hursley playing pretty well this evening.
Halb Gelb ist, kann er raus
There's been quite a few tough shots as well.
Yeah, that's been the story of this game. Marco's been in trouble quite a few times, and he's gotten his team out of trouble, whereas Ross White just quite hasn't been able to finish it off.
As long as you get that 3.
I think you have to shift
Shots like this one he just made make it so tough.
Okay.
Gonna throw a bomb down here, Ross White. Try and catch a piece of that shot just played by Hursley. See if they can get a couple of reds going. Might see the shooter actually hit the red and kick their own yellow down to that redstone back 4.
Yeah, if they hit this as thin as they need to send it out of the forefoot, I do think it will make contact with that yellow rock. Just a question of where it will go to. Find out.
Yep. Come on, go. Whoa.
Big weight from White. This one's backing up a bit though. And does exactly that. And look how many yellows stick around. Is that one spin back as well? No. But there are 4 yellows.
It's a very lonely red rock now.
That's a really good shot by Ross White. Well read and well thrown. You see the shooter here. Red, yellow, and then actually spins back up, kicks the yellow onto that redstone on the wing as well.
No. Call. Catch it.
Pretty good result.
Very good result.
Really good.
It's tough for the Swiss team to guard everything now. They've got that angle on the right-hand side, or
Options anyway.
come around tap just on the shot stone. Might need to try to get another one in here. Sometimes the best guard is second shot.
Please. Ja. Von 8 ist okay da. Muss einfach über die Center kommen.
Now there's a guard out front there.
Das ist mir kürzer. Nur so.
Red shot zone, pretty much directly behind it, so gonna come around, try and just nestle up against that Yellowstone top 8 foot.
That way, if Ross White does make that angle on the yellow one, it would only be for 2.
They're pretty tough as well. Could come off the wide one.
With this many yellow ones in the rings, it's hard to take everything away.
Lili ist gut.
Innen 4. Innen 4, sehr lang.
Warte.
Innen 4.
Zet sicher vor der Tee bleiben.
Calling this one a little bit heavy.
Voor 4.
Warte.
Voor 4.
Warte.
They'll want to be very careful with the angles here if it is heavy.
This one's not curling on them.
Gotta go.
Oh, could prove trouble here. Try and sweep it. Get a better angle. Not sure if they did. That's a little bit deeper. They might get away with it. Maybe they did. Well, from this angle, it is slightly buried, not by much. This could be a game winner right here for Ross White. They've set up a lot of good ends that slipped through their fingers. Will it be one more, or will they capitalize here?
Does need to come quite close to this guard to make this as intended, so he's a little bit high. You might not see that front red go as far as they'd like it to.
Just threw a peel down the spot. Last stone, 8th end, could be a bundle for Scotland. We catch enough here. 1, 2, that one spins all the way out, and it's 5. It is 5 for Scotland.
Great
2
shot.
real good peels by Ross White.
Yeah.
Come on.
And finally, Scotland is able to cash in on some good play. Wow. Well, you're not going to score 5 very often.
Hard not red, James.
But certainly a good time to do it in the 8th end. We're near 2 down. Huge.
Right, that's control. That's control.
And all of a sudden, it is Scotland in the lead.
Let's
We've
go,
got
boys.
plenty of time, Paul.
8 to
Make sure
5.
in the hats, we've got a wee bit short.
First thought was there. First thought was there, James.
Yeah, they were there.
Okay, we're 7 just now.
Okay, needs to come down a touch.
More than 7.
Lines it hair high.
8, 9.
Needs to come down. Okay, it looks like it's curling.
It's curling
Still
a wee
needs
bit.
to come down.
Just biting back 4, I think.
Okay, just let it come down.
Stay. Fine.
That's okay. You're good.
A big 5 on the board for Scotland. They jump ahead. Wow.
2. Karl empfehlen. Ja.
What did you say, Laura, between ends here?
Right.
Told me seems like everything's just came out of nowhere in this game.
Yeah, there's been whatever end or whatever team in the end looks like they've had the advantage. Get down to skip stones and something just comes out of nowhere. A big shot by one of the skips. A few clinkers around like we just saw there, and that double for 5 points.
Yep.
It's been very entertaining to watch.
Not a lot of 5-enders scored this week. Only 2.
Wait, should be close. 5.
This being one of them. The other one was Canada scoring
We can go a touch.
a 5 on
really good.
Italy.
Line's good now.
Line's good.
It's all yours.
Duncan.
Duncan
Heads off
Stone.
me.
And a 4 has been scored 5 times in the men's competition so far this week.
We're top 8. Lions Park.
Whoa.
No 6s, no 7s, no 8s.
Really good.
Nice shot. Really good. 3.
Those are quite rare.
They do happen, though.
Ice! Oj, stod det.
Fy!
Ice!
Fy!
Fy!
Hos vi!
Right, ice!
Yep! Hard!
With how high that first corner guard is, Switzerland will play the second one around their high corner guard. Try to make this double peel as difficult as possible. This is a common play now with the 5-rock rule to throw 2 corner guards on the same side.
Bump at foot.
Didn't quite get the curl though, so Scotland, when they can peel, can just access that tighter one that's a lot more usable for Team Switzerland.
Big extension.
Yeah, we're close. Really good.
Line's close.
7.
Whoa. Whoa. Close. Whoa.
7.
Good. Arjun.
6, 7.
Ard.
6.
Ard. Move. Whoa. Dunk. Get it going. Ard. Dunk. Get it bounce. Get it bounce. Go, go, go. There we go, boys. Good.
Nice shot, James. Really good.
Nice little tap up there by James.
Good.
12.
Ja, alright. Voeten behalten.
Hand op eens.
Överallt! Överallt! Överallt!
Whoa! Fy! Hard!
Go hard, Fee. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, really need to keep the shooter in play here. Switzerland now down by 3.
Neither of the Swiss seconds this game have really had their best go.
Really good throw. Really good throw.
No, it's been tough for Eve Stocker to just enter the game halfway through. I could see how it was maybe worth the risk, but not sure if that's really paid off too well.
No, often you'll see the alternate come in when the team gets a big lead, and it gives them an opportunity to play some games and throw some rocks in case they do need to go on the ice later on in the week. But in that case, your team already has the lead, and your shots are usually quite a bit easier. In this case, they're in a tight battle and really need to score some points and try to throw some very precise shots.
It's tough to sit on the bench for a week as well. At home, you might be used to playing curling almost every day, and you come here, you're almost not throwing anything for a week if you're an alternate. Of course, you come out in the evening practice, maybe matching stones, but that might be throwing the same in-turn draw time and time again. You're not really playing anything else.
It's likely a lot less slides than they're used to, which can have an effect on your consistency and your body and all of those things.
Bill! James! Hard! Oh! Get it, get it, get it. Okay.
Find out.
Das ist mir langsam mit die Bahn.
Ja. 4, 4, 1.
Wenige.
Ich finde 4, 1 nicht schlecht.
Ja. Ganz.
Rüsten kannst du immer noch viel machen.
Vooruit! Vooruit, voor de 4!
Linie is goed.
Vooruit!
Zo lang niet.
Hard.
Vooruit!
Achtung.
Lengi gas!
Janis.
Yep.
Janis.
Lengi marsch!
Hard.
Vooruit!
Yep.
Hard. Yves. Hard. Yves. Yep. Hard.
Linie is goed.
Kantine!
Ja.
Go, 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 go!
Dat is goed.
Gut, sehr schön. Tipptopp, Fee.
Goed, Steve.
Ja. Gute Länge, Fee.
I think we'll set this, that one.
Just nose. Nose isn't awful. Yep. Yeah.
Hack.
Yep.
Scotland now just looking to eliminate as many Switzerland stones as possible with a 3-point lead, playing the 9th end. Even if you end up giving up a 2 here, you still have 1-point lead with the hammer, so not going to take any chances. Hit the open one and sit 2, maybe 3. Not sure with those 2 top stones.
Good call.
Ja. Oder nur. Ja, ich weiß nicht.
Was heißt zum
Was
Gas
heißt zum
hinten Roll?
Double?
So?
Ja, einfach der Roll Double.
Würde ich auch machen, ja.
Was sagst du zum Roll Double? So.
Das
ja.
finde ich geil, ja.
Kannst du gerade?
Ja,
Kannst schon, ja.
Schwere flach.
11.
Ah, ja. Ich kann weit
2
rollen.
Drittel. Ja. Oder?
Ja, ist gut. Hat er gesagt. Ich kann recht weit rollen.
11.
Sahel!
Yves,
Sahel!
Yves, ja. Hard! Hard!
Go hard,
Ja!
Go hard! Go hard!
Fest!
Go hard!
Ja!
Go hard!
Hard! Hard! Hard! Go! Oh.
Okay.
Ist der draussen?
Sehr schnell,
Hack.
Does make a roll, but quite unfortunate to
Huge down here
kick
either.
his
That's fine.
rock that was top 12 out of the rings. That could have been a huge point for them.
Well, let's take a look back to the 8th end. There's Ross White with 2 excellent shots to set up that 5-ender. First,
Hard, not red, James.
just squeezing past the guard to make this double. Pardon me. His last shot to score the 5.
See the team pretty fired up there. This Scottish team plays with a lot of emotion.
Even before that, made a really good one to set it up.
Yeah, arguably that was a better shot. It was super thin on where he had to hit it and put a lot of pressure on Switzerland and just couldn't quite put that freeze in the right spot.
Good. Good throw, Rob. Shot.
Enough?
Yep.
Freeze können wir im Jahr. So. Das ist jetzt gleich, fast gleich, wie ich habe gespielt. Das ist so, wie ich habe gespielt. Was meinst du, klein mehr?
Cal, you're so close.
Ah, sorry. Sorry. I get to No, this is 2. We're 1 up.
Kom direct op, hè.
Even if you can run here, you could probably play the office.
In der 4.
Do we play that or do we play off our own?
Either or.
Ik kan het toch weer riskeren nachher. Met de hinderwush, oder? Come on.
Vorne Pierre!
Ja!
Leg je voor, Charles!
Ja! T-Linie!
Leg je goed, vorne Pierre!
Hard! Ja!
T-line!
Hard!
T-line!
Ja!
T-line!
Ja!
T-line! In de 4, in 8, in 8!
Ja!
In 8!
Ja!
In 8!
Hard! Oh, Jonas! Janis! Oder ein Krass!
Nee, ik ben niet.
Okay, is goed. Nee, is goed. Goed.
Needs to sit for shot stone here. It is not going to. I think that is 3rd, even.
Hey, be careful where we put this. We don't want to leave him a triple for 3. What's this triple like?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
We like to just now. He's always going to take on the triples. Scoring 1 for him is not good.
Don't think Scotland needs to overthink this.
I think we're literally anywhere.
Get another one in the rings there.
T-line.
Yeah.
T-line maybe stops. Maybe stops in that one.
He's going to have to go across.
Let's get back there. Yep, there.
He's on back 8 here on the other.
Top 8's okay as well.
The only thing they don't want to leave is the
thinking just
triple
right
for
next to
2.
Yeah, okay. Fine with that.
Even that, very tough to pull off.
And even so, they're still up 1 with the hammer in the 10th end, so in a good position right now.
Just right next to it. Back 8.
But if they can get this one to that back red one, don't see a triple there.
Still been a little bit heavy on the draws, Ross White, even though he's made some incredible upweight shots.
Back 8! Okay, line's nice. Back 8, boys, look.
Sweeper's on this one, so not too heavy, clearly this time.
Looks okay.
Whoa, not too bad, not too bad. Whoa.
Right here. Whoa. Back 8, no further. You in.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I love how that was managed by Team Scotland. They both got on it right away thinking it was a little bit light, but you know, often when you see that happen, they think it's a little light out of the hand. Both heads go down, both sweepers pound it the whole way, and no one ever takes a second look. Ewan looked up and
we knew you were close, but just
knew it was probably okay and didn't kill it. That can often happen, so really smart by them to have somebody judging.
Yeah, well, the sweeper closest to the rock's the most efficient, so the second sweeper can maybe afford to take a look.
Yeah.
They certainly can. They can almost be looking the whole way. You can keep a broom down to clean it, but unless it's extremely light and you need that extra sweeper for the speed, you're going to be way better off just having that person judge it properly than you ever will be having both sweepers going. Sweeping is so much more about judging, I think, than a lot of people realize. I don't care if you're the strongest sweeper in the world. If you're not smart about it and can't put those rocks in the right spot, then you're still not going to be very effective.
Last one of the 9th end here. Switzerland not able to strike back after giving up a 5. It's a draw for 1.
Fifth size zit super zie.
But the draw is made.
Wat zei ons? Ja.
1 for Switzerland.
1 red.
Still with a fighting chance, but trailing Scotland by 2. As we will soon enter the 10th end.
Schöne Ränge, Marco. Tipptopp.
Wenn wir Karte auf der Auto-Drin-Händel spielen. Auf dem Auto ist einfach klein flat.
Already at that weight to make that. No, this way.
Is it?
So, because we made that check to the left, remember?
Tief! Hard, jongens.
Wakker!
Ja, hard, doe dat!
Real hard work by Switzerland to get this guard over the hog line. It is not over, and you might as well say that the game might be over for Switzerland, not getting that across the tartan hog line.
Yeah, stealing 2 is a tough task, regardless of what's in play, but to start with your first rock not getting over.
One of my best throws this game.
Yes.
That's going to be a long hill to climb for Team Switzerland.
Ewan Kyle just throwing his first rock through at a vigorous pace.
Yeah, those are fun as a lead, I think. Sometimes you don't get to throw that many hits, so you just go and throw it as hard as you can when you have that option.
3. Nog maar lang. 3 bis 12. Kan niet.
Although with those two, if knowing that you're going to be playing a lot of peels this end, they haven't played a ton of just straight peels in this game. They haven't really thrown many inside-out peels. That could have been a good opportunity for them to maybe learn a path that they might not have known by putting the broom in a spot that Ross wanted to see and having Ewan throw that with whatever weight. You know, Ross might not know that well. Even being the 10th end, you can still be always learning.
Whoa!
Now a full collapse here.
Yeah, this is too bad.
Switzerland putting the second guard in the house. not taking advantage of the free guard zone
I
whatsoever.
gave myself right.
Right.
Hugh and Kyle makes the peel.
Dial in, finish it off.
Yep.
Should be pretty straightforward here now till the end of this game. Guard will go up, peel will happen as long as Scotland can retain their focus. Dial in to make these last few peels. There should be no issues.
I wonder if that was James Crick saying that, 17-year-old. Let's dial it in.
Probably. He's the one that seems to stay calm.
Just keep your focus till the very end.
As we've seen in this game, really anything can happen. Things seem to turn on a dime.
Bill.
Whoa. Just clean.
It's tough to look at that scoreboard if you're Swiss.
Clean, you're good.
And just
Nice shot,
to
pal.
know it just went really wrong in that one end. Of course, Scotland had them in more than that one end. But especially for skip Marco Hösli, playing so well throughout the game, not to be able to do better in that 8th end.
And in that 8th end, really, he made a great shot on his first one even.
Yep. Just unfortunate how the angles worked out for him and then for Ross White to set up the end. Sometimes you can make the perfect shot and it doesn't work for you.
Same turn's fine.
Ross will walk up to peel that one, and we'll look at the other games going on here tonight. On sheet A, Canada trails Germany by 2 points with the hammer in the 10th end. We have a final on sheet B, Norway beating Italy 10-6. On sheet D, the United States beat New Zealand by a score of 8-3, and another final on sheet E, Sweden also beating China 8-3.
Guard erin.
Hinne.
Ja, så har vi gått til stein.
Track flat.
Nei, det er ikke. Jeg forstår det.
Good, T-line. T-line.
In de 4.
T-line.
Egentlig sitter det.
Voor 8.
10.
Voor 8.
Wow.
Voor 12.
Wow, det var det.
Voor 8. Good, T-line.
Fast.
Good ball.
Switzerland hoping that maybe they can get a nose hit out of Scotland and then have something to freeze to. But the way they've been playing this Scottish team, I'm not sure they'll get so lucky.
Right to any roll in. Hard.
I think it'd be more tempting to then maybe put a top 8 or something, get a nose and then maybe draw around. Use any rock in the house as a guard.
Da kan det bli bäst att laufen.
You're clutching at straws either way.
Jongens. 3. 3. 3. Voor een 12. Voor een 12, voor 8.
Tack visst.
Good terrain. End turn.
Sweeper still working it.
Good ball. Maybe just less.
It's good to see, even in this game where they know they probably have lost, they still giving it their all, give their players some confidence to move forward into the rest of the games. They'll still be in a position where they can make the playoffs, so do all they can to move forward with as much positivity and confidence as possible.
Nice throw. Nice, done, good.
Switzerland will play USA.
Oh, sorry.
And then they have Germany left. So 2 games to finish up the round robin for the Swiss. Scotland's got a couple of toughies left. They got Norway and then USA as well.
You know.
You would think with a win here, that's definitely securing them a spot in the playoffs with 7 wins. We might get quite a few teams on 6 and 3 potentially. There's no tiebreakers.
Possibly.
A team might see themselves out on draw shot challenge. It has happened before.
Yeah, that draw to the button is so important, not just to get hammer for that game, but for potentially playoff implications.
Yeah.
Already processing the loss here, the Swiss.
Hey, more.
I'm sure they'll be looking back on that 8th end to see if there's anything they could have done differently.
Just clean. Nice throw.
Nothing springs to mind.
No, just a little more cautious on rock placement on the last one is all I can think of. Otherwise, they played it well.
Ross White plays his first and last stone of this game to run Switzerland out of rock. Scotland will win it 8-6, very much due to a big 5-ender in the 8th end. Good comeback. And they stay perfect. 7 wins on the board for the Scots. Ross White, again, having a very good week at the World Juniors. Seventh end, Switzerland lying 2. Ross White needing to draw for 1. Just coming uphill heavy, trying to get onto the backing. They will, but not good enough for the single. Switzerland steals and leads at 5-3. And in the 8th end, lots of yellows in play. Ross White with a huge shot. Make the double, spin everything out, and sit for 5.
Come on.
Would lead it by 3 after 8. In the 9th end, Switzerland couldn't really get anything going, facing 3 Scottish counters. Marco Hösli drawing for the 1. Pin perfect, but a single just not quite enough for the Swiss. And in the 10th end, Scotland running Switzerland out of rocks. Final score 6-8 in favour of Scotland. A couple other finals as well. We see Norway picking up their win against Italy 10-6. USA beating New Zealand 8-3. Sweden also with an 8-3 win over China. Only one game remaining out there this evening, and it's Canada-Germany. They're actually down to the last stone. Canada needing 2 for the extra end. And there you see it, Scotland. It's confirmed they're qualified for the playoffs with their 7 wins. Norway and USA now at 5-2, really in pole position to make it through as well. Canada sitting at 4-2 now before this game comes to a finish. We're going to see actually Tyler Tardy here with an in-off to try and pick out the yellow, which he does for the win. Down 2, scores a 4. That was a good effort by Germany. Their last shot played a really good freeze, but what an in-off by Tyler Tardy to win that dramatic finish in front of the home crowd. And that's an important one. Canada with that win will move to 5-2 as well. Sitting side by side with Norway and USA. We have Ross White with Laura Walker.
Ross, congratulations on your win out there. You're the only undefeated team in this event, now sitting at 7-0. How does that feel for you and your team moving forward towards the playoffs?
Yeah, it feels great. It puts us in a really good position. Just kind of keep ticking over, doing the same as we're doing all week, and hopefully we can just keep that in the last few games.
And in that game, seemed like you had control of most ends, and the Swiss skip was making some huge shots to keep his team in that one. How do you stay focused with those kinds of shots being made against you?
It's tricky. We were just kind of talking to the team, making sure that we were really focused to the next end, even though he was making some absolute beauties. So thankfully we managed to do that, and yeah, we got the win.
And then you made a beauty of yourself, the first shot on 8 and then your double for 5 in the 8th end. How did that change the momentum for your team going into the last 2 ends?
Well, we were really struggling at this point. We were just kind of trying to build ourselves up, which we managed to do really well going to the 8th end, and thankfully we got the chance and we took it. So yeah, it changed it a lot.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks very much.
Here we see Team Canada after that win, signing some autographs for the fans that have come out here to watch. Of course, big favourites as well, and now with that win, they'll sit at 5-2. With Norway and USA very much with a good chance of making it through the playoffs. We see Switzerland dropping to 4-3, still with a chance, but they might have to win their last 2 games. That's it for the curling from Liverpool today, but there'll be more tomorrow, starting with Sweden, Canada in the men's game in the afternoon, then Japan, Korea in the women's in the evening. So join us tomorrow for more curling fun. Here from World Curling TV, we thank you for watching.
Whoa! 7.